So, welcome to Wednesday's video. We're still doing multiplication and division, and yeah, this is going to be Wednesdays. So, we're just going to do a little recap on what we did yesterday. And remember, we were using inequality signs to work out which was bigger or which was smaller. So, remember, with inequality signs, the crocodile always eats the bigger number. So, the nice teeth need to be eating the correct number. I put the teeth in to remind myself when I'm working something out, but I probably wouldn't put them in my book because it would look messy. But it is a good way of working out the answer. So I'm going to do the first one for you, and then we're going to do the other two by yourself. So because there are two parts to these questions. The first one is to work out which one's bigger. Is it 6 times 2 or is it 10 times 1? So I need to work out what the answer is. 6 times 2, I know, is 12. But if you didn't know, you could work it out using a draw it method. And 10 times 1, we all know, is 10. So, which one is bigger? Which number is the crocodile going to prefer to eat? You're right, he's going to prefer to eat 6 times 2 because 12 is definitely bigger than 10. Pause the video now and have a go at the other two on your own. Now you've had a go, I will quickly go through the answers so you know whether you're right or not. 2 times 6, that's the same as 6 times 2, isn't it? Just the other way round. So that one is going to equal 12. And 3 times 4, that also equals 12. Who can remember what we need to put there? This was a trick question. I was trying to trick you there. Do we put a bigger than? Do we put a smaller than? No, we put an equal sign because they are the same. So, with our next one, this was a lot trickier, but it's a similar situation. 6 times 8, if you worked it out, was 48. That's a really hard times table. But 12 times 4 is also 48. So, can you remember what we pop on? You're right, we pop an equal sign on. Right, so today we are going to be using known multiplication facts to work out others, okay? So we're going to use things that we already know, times tables we already know, to work out bigger times tables, okay? And it's all about looking for patterns, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. Step 1, the mild challenge, is going to be answering fact family questions, and we're going to have a go at that on our paper today. Step 2 is answer reasoning questions, and step 3 is to explain my answer. So, I know it says my turn on the board, and I will have a go at this, but I would like you also to have a go. So I'm just going to read out the question for you. Okay, we're going to do the first part together, and then you're going to do the next part by yourself. So, if we know that 2 times 6 equals 12, which we do, we also know that 2 times 60 equals 120, okay? So, they've written here 2 times 60 equals 120, and now we need to find 3 more multiplication or division questions that equal the same or are similar and in the same fact family. So, remember how we said that if 2 times 60 is 120, then we can just mix it up and do 60 times 2 equals 120. It's the same calculation, but it's in this different fact. It's in the same fact family. Sorry, that 6 is very terrible because I'm doing it with my touchpad. So, what we're going to do now, we need to think of those next 2 division questions that are linked to these times table questions. So remember, we need to start with the biggest number, so 120, and we need to divide it by either 60 or 2, so I'm going to go with 60, and then our answer will be the remaining number, okay? So 120 divided by 60 equals 2. So we've got one more to do, and for this one we're still going to start with 120, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to divide by 2 this time. We're not going to divide by 60. What do you think the answer might be? You're right. It's going to be 60. It's going to be the last one. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit messy. What I would like you to do is look at these three calculations, okay? Do it one at a time, so do 3 times 30 first. I want you to write down all the other fact families for the calculation. So there's going to be 3 more fact family questions. There's going to be 1 more times, and then there's going to be 2 more divides for the first one. I'm going to give you a few minutes so you can pause the video, and when you are finished, you can unpause and I will go through the answers. So we know that 3 times 30 equals 90 because we know that 3 times 3 equals 9, okay? 3 times 30 equals 90, so our next fact family question is going to be 30 times 3 equals 90 because we're just mixing up the 3 and the 30. You can do that with time thing. And for our division questions, we're going to start with the biggest number. We're going to start with 90 divided by 30 equals 3. So the other one will be 90 divided by 3 equals 30. For the next one, I know that 8 times 4 equals 32. So I know that 80 times 4 equals 320. That's a big number, isn't it? So therefore, if 80 times 4 equals 320, then 4 times 80 also equals 320. And I know that 320 divided by 4 equals 80. And I know that 320 divided by 80 equals 4. I know that 160 divided by 2, well, I'm thinking 16 divided by 2 is 8. So 160 divided by 2 must be 80. So I know 160 divided by 2 equals 80. So I also know 160 divided by 80 equals 2. And I also know that 80 times 2 is 160 and 2 times 80 is 160. I hope you got all your calculations in there. That was tricky to do quickly. So, I'm not going to do this one for you because this is part of your sheet, okay? This is the mild challenge. So for the mild challenge, what I want you to do is look at the times table. You should know the answer, if not you can work it out. Look at the times table on your sheet. And then I want you to write down a related fact. So if you know that times table, you also know this times table. So if you look at the top question, 2 times 6 we know equals 12. So therefore 2 times 60 equals 120. Can you see the pattern on there? You're right. It's not quite the same. It's bigger. 6 has turned into 60 and then 12 has turned into 120. The answer is 10 times bigger. See if you can work this out on your sheet. And we're just going to quickly have a look at the medium challenge, okay? Don't pause your video here because you're going to be doing this in a minute. The medium challenge is the same as we've just done. So you need to write down your related facts. 2 times 4 equals 8, so 20 times 4 must equal 80. And then we're going to go to the divides. What's 80 divided by 4 and what is 80 divided by 20? So you need to think of 3 more questions that are linked to the 4 questions on your board. Use the top one to help you. So now it is your turn. On the mild challenge, you have got to do a fact family question sheet. You have to do the same on the medium challenge, but you've got to find more fact family questions on the medium challenge. And if you want to do the hot challenge, you will need to do the problem solving and reasoning questions. However, I would suggest that we start with medium today. Pause the video here, give yourself around 20 minutes to answer this, and then unpause. So, this isn't what we're doing today. This is something that we're doing tomorrow, okay? And I've put a little a little version of me saying because I'm not sure how we would work this one out. This one looks so tricky. We don't know our 23 times table. So I want you, not now, but have a little think about how you would work this one out. I'm not going to tell you how to do it today. I'm going to tell you how to do it tomorrow, but I would like you to have a go at just thinking around how we could do this. I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye.